What is Ken doing? We did this kit a couple months ago, and I realized the other day that I never did a final reveal on it, and the reason that I didn't is because this was actually a Christmas gift, and I didn't want to put a video up on the internet and then have the whole surprise spoiled. This is actually a kit that I did for my dad, and the way this worked out, this is actually a 1/24th die-cast kit that he's had for a long time, and it sat on the shelf, got all dusty, and never really did anything with it. So I took it home and disassembled the entire thing and detailed it out and made some special improvements to it. This was a significant kit for him because back in like 70, maybe 69, I think it was 70, he actually had a 68 Chevelle that looked just like this. His was not a super sport, but the same color, and some of the details I'll show you that I did make it look just like the one that he had. So that's that. And then just real quickly, I wanted to do a quick plug for this too. The case that this is in is actually a Lindbergh display case. And you know, I don't buy cases to put my stuff in hardly ever. Actually, I don't have any of my stuff in them, mostly just because of the cost. But this is actually a nice case. I think it sells for like 11 bucks, and it's got a chrome diamond plate bottom to it. The Lexan lid is nice and big, so even tall stuff like trucks or vans will fit in here with no problem. So let's take the cover off and I'll show you some of the details here. Okay, so I didn't do any red paint work to the car. That's all the factory paint. All I did was clean it up and polish it out a little bit, and then I did other things. I wanted to try to leave it as authentic as possible, so I left the original tag on it. I left the original decals that were stenciled on or silk screened on, I guess they probably were. That kind of stuff. I didn't really change anything as far as that goes. I left the same mirrors. I left the antenna the same, even though it is actually obscenely thick for the scale. But the way that it was installed, if I had cut it out and put a new one in that would have been more to scale, it would have left a huge hole in the fender that I would have had to fill and paint. And so we just decided to just go ahead and leave it the way it was. So basically what we've done here is the wheels, the red lines are one of the details that I did. These wheels and tires actually have, the tires I should say, actually just have a plastic ring that snaps into a groove that's molded into the tire. And I popped those out and painted them red. You know, of course, that would have been a popular thing back in the 60s and 70s to have the red line tires. And then as far as the wheels go, I didn't do much. I just black washed the derby caps to pick out that detail. And I can't remember if I did the holes in the wheels or if they were already like that. But either way, just a little bit of detail work on those. And let's see, we'll kind of go around here. The black stripe in the center of the rear valance, I detailed that, and you know, made that extra detail visible. And the bumper was actually in pretty poor shape. The chrome was not in good shape. By the way, this kit is wired down, so that's why I'm handling it that way. But the chrome is in pretty poor shape, so I used BMF on that, and I used on this one just the standard chrome, and it's okay. I actually have Ultra Bright chrome also. I did not have it at the time, but Ultra Bright actually works really nice. It's pretty impressive. So if you have your choice, I would recommend using the Ultra Bright. The one detail I did not do on it, because I couldn't figure out a good way to do it and make it look good, is the backup lights. Those little fins to the left and the right of the license plate should be the backup lights, and of course they should be a white color, but I did not do anything with that. So the next detail that I did is the black underneath the chrome strip there. If you are familiar with the 68-72 Chevelles, you would know that that black is not factory. In fact, that is not even a Super Sport option, I don't believe. But that was something that my dad did to his car. And so when I had the body all taken apart, I masked everything off and sprayed the bottom black, just to, again, make the car look a little bit more like his did back in '70. Under the hood, his car actually had a 327 in it. The model has a 396, and the way that this is made together, there was no way for me to take this engine out, because this is more like a curbside kit. So I couldn't pull the engine to change it and put a small block in, although that would have been cool. So instead I just did some minor little details, like I picked out the ribs in the valve covers with the black stain, and did some paint work in there, the washer bottle and the some of the air conditioning parts, the muffler on the air conditioner, and the master cylinder, things like that. And then battery I did a little detail on. I also put, and apologize for the bad lighting in here, but I also did the photo etched battery terminals, and I wired the battery also. And you know, again, just some little minor details. I did not wire the engine because there isn't anything there to wire. So you know, and the other thing is, knowing that it was going to be permanently put in a case, you can't see a lot of the detail, so I just did just enough that people can see it and realize that something has been done. And then of course I did, let's see if I can lift this up again, I did paint the underside of the hood, that kind of stuff also. Blackwash the grill, and did some extra detailing on the bumper and that kind of thing also. The doors, I did some extra chrome work with bare metal foil, and also on the trim of the seats, that is all BMF in there. And did BMF on the door thresholds. That was from the factory. It was just kind of overspray red. Really, it wasn't even painted correctly. So that just, again, another little extra detail. And you know, the chrome around the seats. I don't know if you can really see it. Let's see if I can get it from this side. Yeah, you can kind of see just a couple little details of chrome on the door panels, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. You know, these cars didn't have a lot of chrome on the door panels anyway. Really, it was just a couple of thin strips of it. So, you know, that just kind of dressed things up a little bit. And then on the interior, again, the other thing I did, and you probably won't be able to see it here, is I actually did, nah, we're not going to be able to see it. I used black embossing powder to do the carpet in there. And actually, I should do a little tutorial on how I do that, because I've seen guys use white glue, I've seen guys use spray glue. I actually use color matched acrylic paint to do it. If I'm using black embossing powder, I use black acrylic paint. I paint it in there relatively heavy and sprinkle the embossing powder right on top, shake off the excess, and you're good to go. And that works pretty well. Of course, you're not going to get in there and rub on it with your fingers. That obviously would knock it off, but you're not supposed to be touching it anyway. So that's that. Back in the engine, I didn't tell you that I did do some painting in there, and you know, did some detail with the engine as far as painting the orange, that kind of thing. That was there wasn't a whole lot of detail in there, and so I figured that, you know, if it came from the factory orange, it should be orange on the model also. And you can kind of see in there that I did the same thing underneath, painted the engine, and and I did some other things in there, painted the exhaust, that kind of thing under there. I'm sorry you guys can't see this real well. I should have done this before I wired it down. The other thing I did under there was I did BMF on the exhaust tips as well. So this kit is, I don't think that it's any popular name brand of kit. It's, let's see, it's Sunnyside Limited. And so he's had this for a while. I don't even know where it came from. It's probably $15 kit, something like that. You know, ready to display right out of the box. And so we just made it a little bit better, just with some detail and some polishing. I also did the stain on the hood louvers as well, just to give them a little bit of added dimension. And so that's about it for it. That's going to go out to his office and go on his desk. And part of his job is going out and talking to people, or people coming to his office and talking about their organization. And so this is a good conversation starter for his desk. And so that's where it's going to wind up for who knows how long. So that's about it for this one. Let us know what's going on in your world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now. And until next time, this is Ken with What Is Ken Doing. Talk to you later.